Wall Street kick-started the holiday-shortened week on a positive note, boosted by strong gains in tech stocks led by Microsoft and Nvidia. US markets are now on a 5-day winning run. Dow Jones Industrial Average on Monday's session settled 0.58% higher, and S&P 500 added 0.74%, while Nasdaq Composite climbed 1.13% in Monday's trade. European markets saw a cautious start to Monday following a strong week. The Pan-European Stock 600 index closed 0.1% higher after moving either side of the flat line through the morning session. Asian markets were also trading in the green this Tuesday morning, mirroring similar moves on Wall Street after a tech-fueled rally. Hang Seng was up around 1%, and South Korea's Kospi was also trading up almost 1%. Japanese shares, on the other hand, were trading flat as we speak. Now, other major cues that are favoring a risk-on sentiment for the global equities. Now, the dollar index has fallen to a 2.5-month low and is currently hovering around the 103.2 sort of levels. US 10-year bond yields, which briefly slipped below the 4.4% on back of strong bond auction in the US, has reclaimed those levels and is currently hovering around the 4.41% sort of mark. Brent crude, on the other hand, is the only negative cue. The Brent crude prices have climbed by about 2% on expectations that OPEC, including Russia, will consider additional supply cuts when it meets on November 26. Now, coming back home, Indian markets saw a positive start to today's trading session, with the first tick for Nifty coming in at around 19,770 mark. The market is holding on to those gains, as you can see on your screen. As of 9:30 a.m. this morning, Nifty was sitting with gains of 0.32% at 19,758 mark, whereas Sensex was up 0.44% below the 66,000 sort of levels. The mid-cap 100 has opened above the 42,000 mark in today's trade for the very first time. The mid-cap 100 index is still holding on above those levels. As of 9:30 a.m., it was up 0.39% at 42,018 mark. Nifty small cap 100 has also made a new lifetime high, although it's facing resistance below the 14,000 mark. As of 9:30 a.m., the small cap index was up 0.72%, sitting at 13,972 mark. India VIX, the volatility index, has slipped by about 4%. As of 9:30 a.m., it was down 3.76% below the 12 mark. So, all in all, the setup is looking fairly positive for the bulls, and a slip in volatility will perhaps also augur well for them. But with that, let's also welcome Brijesh of IDBI Capitals. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show. Now, when we last spoke, you had indicated that 19,800 will be a very crucial, resistance zone for the market. Now, we have since scaled those levels, but not really managed to close above that mark. Is that still the big wall for the market to climb?
Morning, Suyash. So I think what I said in the last week, that 19,800, 850, that 50 points band was the resistance zone. But slightly the data over this week is now changing. Like 19,800 and 19,900. The call writers which were active are now slowly unwinding their short positions. So this is the early signs which says that this level might be broken during this week. So I'm pretty confident, since we are all talking technically, we just need a confirmation. So on a confirmation note, as and when 19,800 is taken out, I think 20,222, which is the all-time high level, we are likely to retest those points. So extremely positive on the market. I'm just waiting for that confirmation on 19,800 mark on a closing basis. So I will stand to my original view, and would be looking for the stock-specific long ideas in this market, as my view for the week remains bullish.
Right, that's the view on Nifty. Now, also wanted to get your view on the banking pack. We formed a doji sort of a candle in yesterday's trade, took support at around 43,500 mark on a closing basis. Opened with healthy gains this morning, but still facing resistance around that 43,800 mark. Now, my first question will obviously be, has that negative news flow of Friday, where RBI has tightened the norms on unsecured lending, has that been priced in? And are we seeing, some sort of a trend reversal playing out this morning?
So the first thing that Friday's negative thing, I think it is discounted. So the impact for that particular news should not be hampering the Bank Nifty. But then, having said this, Bank Nifty is more or less in a range from a technical perspective, 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. So this 200-day moving average is 43,300 and 50-day is 44,200. So this is in this band. And the good thing is on the Friday when the negative news came, the Bank Nifty didn't break 200-day moving average. And now it is somewhere considering close to 43,500, 43,000. So this is going to act as a demand zone. Bank Nifty right now it's in the range bound kind of a move. But as I said, even the data for the Bank Nifty is slowly changing. For example, 43,800 call option, 43,900 call option, the shorts position are slowly getting unwinded. So I think somewhere Bank Nifty will also reverse. The trigger, obviously, the trigger for the Bank Nifty is 44,000 level technically. But I have a very strong sense both Nifty and Bank Nifty should outperform during the week.
All right. Uh, Brijesh, also want to get your view on the broader markets. I mean, the kind of rally that we are seeing playing out, the markets fell in late October, then we saw a good bit of a run up. But what has been consistent has been the broader markets. Is it a unique situation that we are seeing playing out? And, how long do you think this rally in perhaps both mid caps and the small caps can sustain?
I think before Diwali, we all had a view that there could be some good good rally, and we always believed the October month would possibly can be a positive month, but that didn't take place. So I think post that time the FIs is extremely short in the market. Now for the after the rollover, after the expiry, monthly expiry in the last month, slowly the FIs have started to exit their short positions. Eventually, in the last month, what we saw, the FIs almost went to 1,75,000 short in the index future. Now they are close to 1,35,000 contracts. So they are slowly exiting their short position. And same thing is also we can see in the call writers position. So this is somewhere suggests that there can be a small rally. I don't know whether this rally will be a new rally, but then definitely range breakout is something which is on the card. As you said, mid cap and small cap should outperform. Maybe the front like large cap may not be that thing, but then definitely mid cap and small cap will be the taste for the market.
Now, Brijesh, shifting focus from sectors to specific stocks, one of the stocks that I want to pick your brains on is Pratap Snacks. Now, the stock seems to be coming out of a bit of a stupor, for 2023. It's just up about 13%, and most of the gains came in yesterday's trade where the stock hit a upper circuit of 20%. Even today opened 5.5% higher. We have seen some profit booking since, but the stock is still holding on, around 2% higher or so. How is that stock looking on the price charts?
Pratap Snacks, I think today after the opening, some selling is coming. But then I think in Pratap Snacks, there's a block deal which happened yesterday. So I think with that, there is a very good volume breakout. The monthly time frame of the Pratap Snacks is looking good on charts. Probably if let's see if this month closes on the positive note, then the all-time high level of this 1448 level is likely to be retested. The structure slowly, the high top, high bottom structure for the Pratap Snacks is turning positive. I think somebody strong hands are buying in the counters. So we need to be invested. I think this momentum can go back to the all-time high level, which is somewhere close to 1440, 1450 mark. So it's a very good trade setup. I think we should be invested, and whenever there is a correction close to 940, 920 level, I think that can be a favorable risk reward ratio where we can make a fresh entries in this counter.
Now, another stock, Brijesh, I want to touch upon is Mankind Pharma. Yesterday it hit an all-time high level. This morning it's trading, muted. It's down about 0.5% or so. But in the last 1 month, we have seen quite a bit of run-up in this stock. It's up about 15% or so. Now, what's your view on Mankind, sir?
As we all know that Mankind Pharma has been added to MSCI, this index. It has been added to the large cap. We have very limited charts, but then if we see the weekly time frame, so this chart has moved after the 18 weeks of sideways consolidation, and that range for that particular week is 200 points move. So I think a fresh 200 points move, continuation of this trend for another 200 points is possibly looks good on chart, and maybe this it's a newly listed, so the charts are very limited from the long term perspective, but the momentum is definitely positive. I think another 200 points move should what we see from the continuation of this price.
Right, another 200-point move could be on the cards for Mankind Pharma. But sir, before we let you go, could you give our viewers, 3 to 5 short-term trading ideas, because as we know the market has been quite volatile and the action is perhaps in that stock-specific, sector-specific areas?
Suyash, I have three trading picks and two positional ideas. So I'll start with the Bharti. So yesterday, I think the Bharti has seen some range breakout and there has been volumes has picked up. So I think Bharti should be by the current level with a stop loss of 946. And it's a trading bet. 991 should be the target for the Bharti Airtel. Then one more reversal candidate which we are observing is the Godrej CP consumer product. So I think that's again a very good buy setup at the current level. The stop loss would be 980 for the price target of 1031. So this is again a trading bet. We are seeing some positional trades in the KIMS, Krishna Institutional Management. So that's a cash trade. So I think one should take a buy at the current price with the stop loss of 1860, and I would target 2094 as the short to medium term target. And next is the Kolte Patel. As we all know, the reality space is picking up, and this particular stock is having a clear-cut trade setup. Yesterday there was a good buying which we saw in Kolte Patel. So with the stop loss of 535 for the target of 592, again a positional trade in the Kolte Patel. When I say the positional trade, this can go for 2 to 3 weeks. And one more trading bet is in the NCC, Nagarjun Construction Company. So it's again a trading call at the current price with a stop loss of 166 for the target of 181.
All right, those are the stock picks from Brijesh Ail. Sir, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for joining us here on First Check.
Thanks a lot.